Welcome to an online meeting of RBKC's Licensing Subcommittee, and thank you for attending. I'm Councillor Janet Evans, and I will be chairing this meeting. It is being held via Microsoft Teams, and it is being streamed live. The committee for this hearing comprises Councillor Priti Hud, Councillor Toby Benton, and me. Councillors, can you please introduce yourselves? If you wish, please turn your cameras off.
Councillor Priti Hud. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Councillor Toby Benton, Coldwell Ward Councillor.
Okay. We are joined remotely by Paul Phelan from the Councillors Licensing Team, our legal officer, Lindsay Lemasurier. Also with us is our committee officers, Holly Weaver, Nima Mahudin, and Tommy Anmer, who will be monitoring all of our connections and help with any technical issues we may have. Before we start the hearing for this case, just a few ground rules. Please keep your microphones on mute until you are invited to speak, and please make sure mobile phones are on silent. Do keep your cameras on when not speaking if you wish, unless we run into connection problems. Please note that the Microsoft Teams chat function is not monitored, so please do not leave any comments in the chat because it will not be followed and the public will not see it. It will not be streamed. Everyone should have received the procedure for the meeting regarding the use of cameras and how to connect back in if you lose connection. Thank you. The case before us today is to grant a license for local Earls Court, 189 to 193 Earls Court Road, SW59AN. I confirm that I have no declaration of interest to make regarding this item. Do the other members have any declarations to make? Councillor Hud?
Sorry, Chair, none, thank you.
Okay, Councillor Benton?
Nothing to declare.
The quorum for this committee is 2, as there is always the possibility that I may lose connection temporarily during the broadcast. I am nominating Councillor Hud to be appointed as a substitute chair. Members, please confirm whether this nomination is seconded. Councillor Benton?
Seconded, Chair.
Councillor Benton seconds the nomination. Thank you very much indeed. I confirm that Councillor Hud has been appointed substitute chair. For clarity, I will outline the procedure of the meeting, which, as already mentioned, has been circulated with the papers and are online. First, the licensing officer, Mr. Phelan, will give a brief outline of the application. Please, could you confirm your attendance?
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm here.
Thank you. Then I will ask applicants' legal advisors, Mr. Graham Hopkins, Mrs. Linda Potter, to present their submission. They will have up to a maximum of 10 minutes to do so. They are joined by their clients, Mr. Rohit Amipara and Mr. Basharat Ghani, who may be able to assist members should they have any questions. Please, could you all confirm your attendance? Thank you. Mr. Rohit?
Yes, I'm present.
Good. Mr. Basharat?
Yes, hi there. I'm present as well.
Hello.
Hi.
Mr. Hopkins?
Yes, Chair, I'm here.
And Mrs. Linda Potter?
She's right next to me.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Then questions may be asked by members of the committee, the legal officer, and the objector of the applicant. Next, the objector. Councillor Linda Wade will present her objection. She will have up to a maximum of 10 minutes to do so. Please, could you confirm your attendance?
Yes, Chair, and I've been nominated also by the Earls Court Society to speak.
Thank you. Then questions may be asked by members of the committee, the legal officer, and the applicant of the objector. After this, we'll ask our legal officer, Ms. Lemassurier, to deal with any questions she may have and to then lead on the draft conditions sessions. The list of potential conditions has been circulated to all of the parties prior to the hearing. Please, could you confirm your attendance?
Present, Chair.
Thank you. Finally, we will turn to the governance team to see if any issues have been raised that we need to consider. There will be no summing up and the meeting will end. I would like to remind everyone that the committee has read the papers, which comprises the main pack, so there is no need to repeat their content. But please do draw our attention to certain points and pages, and governance will move the document on the screen for us. Now, let's get going. You can turn your camera off if you wish. Mr. Phelan, please can you outline the case for us?
Chair, members of the subcommittee, good afternoon. The matter before you today is an application by Inventure ECR Limited for the grant of a premises licence in respect of local Earls Court 189 to 193 Earls Court Road, London, SW59AN. The application is for a grant of a new premises licence on the site of the former NatWest Bank for a convenience store and off licence. The applicant seeks sales of alcohol off the premises from 9 AM until midnight, Monday to Sunday, with 24-hour opening times for the public. This application has attracted a total of 3 representations which oppose this new grant application. These representations have been submitted by Councillor Linda Wade, Councillor Hamish Adorian and the Earls Court Society. A summary of their representations has been provided at pages 10 and 11 of the report, with copies of the full representation attached at Appendix C. Council records indicate that no noise or nuisance complaints have been received in the preceding 24-month period. Council records also indicate that the premises has not been the subject of any temporary event notices within the previous year. The Planning Department has not made a formal representation in connection with this application, but as an informative for the subcommittee, the Planning Department has drawn members' attention to the Emerging Earls Court Action Plan, which states that Earls Court will be known as a place with a special character, appealing to visitors in London and further afield, capitalising on the opportunities that the development of the former exhibition centre site will bring to the neighbourhood, be an interesting and pleasant place for pedestrians to wander with cleaner, clearer and more spacious footways and a greener environment, be smart and well kept, an inviting front door to the wider Earls Court area, with businesses complying with their responsibilities and unauthorised works dealt with promptly. Offer a selection of useful and appealing shops, facilities and services for local residents and visitors. Be and feel safe and comfortable to spend time in, including after dark. The street and station area proactively managed to be inclusive and accessible, paying particular attention to the impact of antisocial behaviour on women, girls and young people, and providing equal access opportunities for people of all abilities. These points are provided by RBKC Planning to aid members in their decision making and to remind the applicants of their responsibility to residents and visitors of the Earls Court Road area, should the licence be granted. Apologies, Chair. A copy of the planning officer's comments have been included at Appendix D of this report. And finally, Chair, I can confirm that there have been 2 additional documents circulated ahead of this hearing. The first document was circulated at the request of Councillor Wade. The second document was circulated at the request of the applicant's solicitor. You will now hear from the applicant and those who have made representations. I'm happy to provide any further clarification as required. Thank you, Chair. I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Phelan. Now for the applicant's case. Mr. Hopkins, Mrs. Potter, please can you present your submission and advise if there has been any additional documentation received? And please do turn your camera on if you like. You have up to 10 minutes to do so.
Thank you, Chair. As you've heard, Mr. Ghani and Mr. Amipara, our clients, are here today. Mr. Amipara is the proposed DPS, and both gentlemen are going to be the joint managers. Both are highly experienced, responsible operators.
Excuse me, could you speak into the mic better? It's coming out a bit muffled.
Sorry. I have personally worked with Mr. Ghani for 10 years plus, and several projects with Mr. Amipara. They are both responsible and considerate operators, in my personal opinion. I just wanted to clarify for the panel that there seemed to be some confusion with the objectors that the premises was going to be a fast food outlet, Chair. It says quite clearly at part 3 of the application that it's going to be a convenience store and off license if the license is granted. There is no reference whatsoever in the papers to this being a fast food outlet, having fast food deliveries or anything similar. So I'd like the panel please to bear that in mind. It is a convenience store and off license. We've not asked for late night refreshment anyway. We did have a meeting online with Councillor Adurian and with him and Councillor Wade at the premises. That point was covered by both Mr. Garney and he confirmed it just before the meeting that nobody said that it would be late night refreshment. It won't be making any mess on the paper. It is just a convenience shop selling groceries, PayPal, things like that. And if the license is granted, some alcohol. We are asking for the shop to be open 24/7 because that's allowable. As you know, the opening times are not licensable. It's only the alcohol times that are licensable. I did have a look, and my clients did. We had a look at the council's licensing policy. I saw the mention of the 12 o'clock preferred terminal hour, and we agreed that that's what the clients wanted and would go for. So that's why we've asked for 9 till midnight. We didn't want an early start because we didn't want to attract street drinkers. Now, I can tell the panel, my clients have offered measures to address street drinkers, problem drinkers, if you like. No single cans or bottles to be sold in a maximum strength of 6.5 for beers, lagers and cider. So I think that will address those issues. Councillor Wade asked for an odour management plan yesterday. As we're not having food, I would just like to point out that would not be appropriate to impose that because there's not going to be any smell from the shop. It's just going to sell frozen and fresh food. I think we've covered that. So we will also have the alcohol outside of the permitted hours. The alcohol will be covered by shutters or in locked chillers, so it will be secure. People won't be able to pop in and just help themselves, antisocial behaviour, all the rest of it. We have offered a full list of robust conditions, the ones you'd expect: CCTV, Challenge 25, signage and training. We've covered the point about the maximum 6.5, etc. We've also offered a condition that Councillor Wade mentioned. It's we've actually said no deliveries to the premises or removals from the premises between 8 at night and 8 in the morning. That's on the operating schedule. We are willing to agree that the name for the duty manager should be, the phone number for the duty manager should be placed in the window so that residents can phone up and if they have any concerns. Quite happy to do that. I can confirm the waste, as we did say to the councillors at the meeting, the waste will be kept inside the premises until it's the collection time. It won't be placed on the pavements. Deliveries was another area they were concerned about. Mr. Garney confirmed that most deliveries will be in small vans and there are pay and display bays nearby that they can park the vans on to unload them. We do not agree that this shop should be singled out to have meetings with RAs or other bodies. It seems inappropriate and not necessary for somewhere that's just going to sell alcohol. We're not going to be making noise or odour nuisance or anything of that kind. It's worthy of comment. There are no objections from responsible authorities, especially the police, your licensing authority and the environmental protection. I would just remind the panel that when the police do make an objection under Prevention of Crime and Disorder, you must give due weighting to that. I submit that the reverse should apply when the police do not object. So I would ask you to consider that when you're deliberating. As I say, not one of the RAs has objected. They've not even passed comment. The Earls Court Society have commented about match day restrictions. Nothing is mentioned in the council's statement of licensing policy, and the police haven't raised it. So we consider the action we're proposing to take. We're going to have notices pointing out this in the Earls Court Public Spaces Protection Order. That will be drawn to the customer's attention. The other things I've mentioned about lower strength beer, cider, etc., no single cans. We think those measures will be adequate, but my clients will be going outside, as they do with their other shops. If somebody's standing outside drinking, they will be asked to leave the area quietly and quickly. it's done politely and most people comply. That, I think, is most of the points I want to cover on that. So we are aware of the PSPO. We've mentioned the society also mentioned the cumulative impacts of licensed premises in the area. I would just point out that there is no cumulative impact policy, especially in that area of the borough. So in closing, we've got 2 joint managers, highly responsible operators, many years of experience between them. They've requested licence hours with a terminal hour at midnight in line with your statement of licensing policy. A full list of robust conditions every responsible authority, the specialist officers, are satisfied with, and no representations, no comments. Based on that, Chair, we did reach out to the councillors. I would suggest their concerns have been addressed, that we've responded to either by conditions or measures that we've agreed to today, and we would ask you to grant the licence. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is Mrs. Potter here?
She is, but I do the speaking.
Okay.
She said I talk too much.
Okay. Any questions first from the committee? Councillor Hud?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. Would you just confirm, did you say that there won't be any sales of single cans?
Yes, Councillor, I did. There'll be no single cans or bottles of beer, lager or cider sold at the premises.
Right, okay. But there will be sort of sandwiches and pies and cold food sold.
That would be part of the offer, yes, because it's a grocery store.
Right, okay. So what would the owners do to ensure that, the punters are not standing outside the shop drinking beer and eating the sandwiches?
Well, they would go out and speak to them, or the staff would, and ask them to leave the area, pointing out the notice that is a public spaces protection order that relates to alcohol, and they will be asked to leave the area immediately.
Right. Okay. Okay. That's lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chair.
Good. Thank you. Councillor Benton?
No, I think there are the questions about the enforceability of conditions, but I don't think I have any questions for the applicant right now.
Thank you. I would like to know a few things. Excuse me. Did I see a section on your diagram, or am I imagining it, that said hot meals or hot food?
I'm just looking at the plan. I can't see one. It says that there's a lot of shelves and food to go. That will just be rolls or stuff like that. But Mr. Garney and Mr. Amipar have both confirmed that there will be no deliveries, no hot food cooked, and no deliveries of hot food.
Okay, good. Now, the second thing is about deliveries. What are you thinking? We have a big problem in Earl's Court with too many bikes colonizing Trebevere Road. And what are you going to do? Are you going to deal with the different food companies, or?
Well, we won't be needing the food companies, Councillor, because as Chair, sorry, that we're not delivering food. It is not. There's no facility there to heat up food or for it to be delivered from the premises.
But you can have Deliveroo does have a grocery delivery.
I'll have to ask Mr. Garney or Mr. Amipara to respond to that.
If I can just jump in, I'd also say, like, I have bought alcohol from a place like what you're describing, which doesn't do single cans or whatever of an evening as well. So yeah, I think it would certainly be important for us to know, because again, this isn't about whether or not you do it or don't do it. It's about whether it's conditioned and therefore enforceable. So yeah, it's definitely a thing people do. It's the places like what we're talking about.
Yeah, perhaps Mr. Garney or Mr. Amipara could answer on that one.
Hi, right, so we won't be using Uber Eats or Deliveroo to do any deliveries. So the bikes will not be there for us.
Okay. Thank you for that. And we'll talk about the rest during the conditions, okay?
Thank you.
Will you make sure that the outside is attractive? Because we're trying to smarten up Earl's Court Road. It's not a requirement, but it's a strong suggestion. We would really like an attractive exterior for your shop.
When we spoke to the councillor, when we met them on Earl's Court Road in the shop, we did say that we would work with the local surveyor to make sure that the frontage is attractive and suits Earl's Court Road, as we are going to spend a lot of money there as well, and we want to make sure it's perfect as well.
Okay, good. It's better for your
We won't
business.
give you a complaint there. Yeah, you'll be happy with that.
Okay,
Definitely.
good. Councillor Hart, did you have an additional question?
Thank you, Chair. Just on the delivery point, if I may just expand that, will you not be delivering if somebody orders a bottle of champagne, or will you be not delivering any alcohol?
We will not be joining Uber Eats, Deliveroo, or any other delivery company. Like in the shops, we haven't joined them. It's not really worth our while. They work better for takeaways, or for a grocery store, they don't work so well.
Right. So basically, you will not be offering any delivery services at all.
No.
It's come to your shop, collect it, and that's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ghani.
Thank you.
Okay, anything from our legal officer?
Not really, but when it comes to the conditions session, in light of what you just said about no deliveries from the premises, perhaps just have a condition, just kind of belts and braces, just stipulating that. If you could have a think about that when it comes to the conditions, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay, and any questions from the objector?
I've only got a couple, which is, what are the staff, can you confirm the staffing levels during and the hours, if they're going to be different, please?
Are you okay with that one?
No, I'm asking, you're going to be open 24 hours a day. How many people are you going to be on the floor, and during which hours are they going to be on the floor?
So what we've done, there will be around 3 shifts a day over the 24 hours. And each shift, because the shop itself is a reasonable size, there will be 4 staff at a time.
So, all right, thank you. Now, just for clarification, I think that when we walked around, the Councillor Dorian and myself walked around, there was, I agree there's no hot food, Mr. Hopkins, that wasn't the issue when I raised about the odour. It was, but you were going to have sandwiches and warm food. That is correct, isn't it? Was that the right takeaway from that meeting? Forgive the pun.
No, I'm not aware that there's going to be anything, Councillor, other than cold food.
Can I ask your applicant, because when
of course
we did the walkabout, Councillor Dorian and myself specifically asked about the takeaway food offer, and therefore there's chilled food, cold food, there's warm food, there may be sandwiches, and there's hot food. We discounted during that walkabout the hot food, but you did mention warm food.
No, there is no warm food. There will be chilled food, what you find in the like sandwiches, yogurts, things like that. There is no hot food. There is no warm food. We will be having a coffee machine in there, but that's about it.
All right, no, it was just for clarification, because and also for clarification, I'm here because of the Earl's Court Society, Earl's Court Gardens and Morton Mews. What I'm going to read out later has been shared with Councillor Adorian, because he was not Tim Verboten, because he wasn't at the meeting that we had. So when I say something, it's all been checked by those people, all right? So when we talked about waste disposal, and you said you were going to keep the waste within the building, and you used First Mile, that I'd just like clarification as to whether they're going to collect from site, or whether you're going to leave your, because you said there wouldn't be very much, there'd be packaging or whatever, that you would leave that. Are they going to collect it from site, or are you going to leave that waste on the pavement for collection within the period?
They, as we've used them before, they collect from site. We never leave it outside.
It's just so that we do get our lines of understood.
Sure.
I would say, and I did forward to licensing governance something that I received at 1:30 this afternoon, and that is that the Earls Court area is under an S60 and S35 because of a football match between Chelsea and a Polish team, and that I believe that the borough does have a policy on match days, and I would like some expansion on how you are going to address Chelsea football days, and whether you've actually experienced it in Earls Court. Have you witnessed a Chelsea football match day in Earls Court?
I've been down to Earls Court a few times on match days, yes.
Well, once, I think there are about 4 or 5 match days a year where it virtually brings the whole of Earls Court to a stand, just nobody can move. You can't get out of roads. There are a lot of people because Earls Court station is...
Excuse me, Councillor Wade, what is your question?
I'm asking them about their approach to Chelsea match days.
Okay, so that's the question. And your answer?
Graham, did you want me to answer that?
I'll have a word. Our position, Chair, is that, as I said to you in my presentation, we did check the council's licensing policy. There is nothing in the SLP relating to match days. And more importantly, this has obviously gone to the police. They haven't asked for any. This is an off licence, not a pub. I know the place next door is an away team. I fully respect that. But this is an off licence. People will go in, buy a can. They can't drink in the street. The police can arrest them if they're committing a nuisance because it's a PSPO. But nothing was asked for by the police. They never contacted us, never even passed a comment. And there's nothing in the SLP.
Can I just jump in here? I think it was raised in one of the objections, though, wasn't it?
It was.
It was indeed, yes. We consider the measures we offered as conditions are adequate to deal with that.
Thank you, Chair.
Just because it's not in the SLP doesn't mean it's something that can't be factored into the council's considerations. Obviously, whatever conditions they put on have got to be appropriate and proportionate to promote the licensing objective. So it doesn't mean we can't consider such conditions. And I think I've suggested one in the draft conditions anyway, which we can come to when we discuss that.
Yes, let's discuss it when we come to the conditions session. I'd like to now call on Councillor Wade to present your objector's case, please.
All right, as I said before, I'm here this afternoon as a councillor representing the Earls Court Society, Earls Court Gardens and Morton Mews, and Councillor Dorian because he's not well. We welcome new businesses to Earls Court and wish this business well. I hope that the new business will be active in contributing to improvements to the Earls Court Road. And I understand that this is the first shop that they have got in the borough. Some of the issues that I will raise are not specifically around licensing, but are included to promote responsible and proactive management. We're a densely populated area with residents living and businesses operating in close proximity. There are key issues that are being raised: extraction and aircon, waste disposal, front elevation presentation and signage, security, deliveries to the store, engagement, and Chelsea match days. In the walkabout with the applicant and his solicitor, Councillor Adorian and I had the opportunity to see the premises and talk through their plans. In the basement area, there's one space that will be used exclusively for refrigeration. So concerns have been raised about the noise and the odours that might arise. It's acknowledged that they're preparing warm food, which was the understanding that we, both Hamish and myself, had from that meeting, and not cooked food. But in response to Mr. Hopkins' comment, businesses do have to adapt to local demand, and a licence should be able to encompass potential changes. So I would ask, does the refrigeration unit generate fumes during its operation? This will be on for 24/7, and so material to the quality of life for residents above, alongside and behind, so that residents can enjoy the quiet enjoyment of their homes without noise and odours. It was conceded during the visit that the existing extraction plant would need to be replaced. The existing plant was installed for Barclays Bank, not NatWest Bank, Barclays Bank use, which was operated on office hours and had no food provision. I advised the applicant that this would require planning consent, as the existing plant would not be sufficient for the change of use from a bank to 24/7 convenience store. As yet, this application does not appear to have been received by the borough. We've covered the issue of the waste storage, and we're very grateful for that. And the reason for it being is it's a very high footfall area, and it's close to a bus stop on a strategic road network. The RBKC policy states that off-licence should recognise their responsibility to ensure that litter discarded by street drinkers and eaters in the vicinity of their premises is regularly cleared away. Therefore, there's a request that they should be part of the local initiative to litter pick as part of their offer as for the takeaway food. Borough officers and councillors have spent a lot of time preparing a shop front guide for the core area of Earls Court Road as part of the overall improvements to the streetscape. And during the site meeting, the applicant showed us a visual of their shop front, which included a change of location for the entrance to the store. So this will require planning permission, and it was asked at the time that they engaged with RBKC officer responsible for streetscape planning, Nadia Robinson, over the shop front presentation. This applies also to their signage, which will require planning consent. Neither application appears to have been submitted to the planning department. We have a PSB in place on the ward. Other businesses have had to upgrade their security in light of the increase of homelessness and street-level individuals and the high risk of shoplifting. And so it's welcomed that there is extensive coverage of CCTV within store, but would ask that they consider either a security guard, particularly on Chelsea football game days, and CCTV camera coverage of the frontage of the store. With no safer neighbourhood police or RBKC wardens on duty after 11 p.m, any late night sales after this time may have the potential to increase the existing problems with ASB in the core area of Earls Court, and that includes public urination in surrounding residential streets, littering, petty crime, and noise nuisance. Chelsea football days. The adjoining property is a designated away pub with the Blackbird at the other end of the parade. The original application made no mention of proposed steps to promote the licensing objectives on match days, which is a cause for concern, as it may demonstrate a lack of local knowledge around these events, and therefore a lack of preparation for addressing routine crime and disorder around football matches. The proposed condition does not go far enough to prevent crime and disorder. Any condition should mirror that of the neighbouring pub, since patrons refused in designated match day pubs could just go into off licenses, which they do, buy alcohol and then drink on the street or in residential front gardens, particularly in Earls Court Gardens. And the sensitivity of this was actually raised with this, as I mentioned at the beginning, about this notification from Stuart Priestley that the Earls Court area and a wider area are now covered by an S60 and an S35 until I think it's midnight tonight. I would ask for more detail as how they're going to deliver goods to the store, given the frontage is part of the Earls Court build-out and not suitable or available for parking. And this includes the period when the refit is being undertaken. I would welcome their involvement in local business initiatives, such as setting up a business improvement district. I would ask that the food close to their expiry date is donated to St Cuthbert's Centre or another local food bank. That there are meetings with Barkiston Gardens, Pennywell Road, Earls Court Gardens and Morton Mews, the Earls Court Society, and please do keep all 3 ward councillors informed of what you're doing. We have some additional requests for amendments to the wording of conditions, and from the experience we're having at the moment, the wording must be robust, clear, and enforceable. And the rest of this is centred on the conditions. So if you want me to wait until we
Yes,
come
please.
to conditions.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your submission. Councillors, any comments or questions?
None from me, Chair. Thank you.
Councillor Benton?
None for now. Thank you. Chair.
Okay. And I have none as well. Okay. Our legal advisor, do you have any questions?
No, I don't, thank you.
Okay. And any questions from the applicant to the objector?
Not a question, Chair, but I would make a comment. The comment's been made about the front of the shop. Well, we've already agreed that we're fully aware they need to get planning permission, and Mr. Garney's confirmed that, but it's not licensable. Donation to food banks, well, that will be up to my clients. I won't comment on that. Nobody wants to see food wasted, but I would just point out that food itself is not licensable. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. At this stage, I'd like to ask our legal officer to deal with the draft conditions and any other queries, please.
Thank you, Chair. Right, everybody's been seeing the draft conditions that were circulated yesterday afternoon. Obviously, my suggested amendments are in red and up for discussion. Wait, go on the screen. Thank you. Number 1, are you happy with our CCTV condition and signage? It's our standard one.
Hello?
I'm waiting for Mr. Hopkins to respond. I don't know if he's reading it or.
He's on, yeah.
Yes, I was.
Sorry,
Yes,
sorry.
I can't see anything wrong with that, Busherat.
No, that just seems to be standard what we have in the other shops as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
so we
standard
accept
wording.
that.
Okay, then.
We agree to that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it pretty much mirrors a lot of what you've said, but I've kind of put it into one. And then we go down to number 12. That's what you offered. No changes there. That's fine.
Yeah.
Number 13, I've just added the words at the premises at the end. I don't think that's an issue. Number 14, I haven't changed. That's fine. Number 15, that's fine. Number 16, I've just put in our suggested wording in red. I think, are you okay with that alternative wording?
Just have a quick look, if I may. I must admit, I would prefer they were trained on induction, but if you want the 2 months and Mr. Garney's agreeable to it, I prefer to say induction and refresher training, but much the same.
So, okay. Fine. So get initially trained on induction and then intervals at 12, no more than 12 months.
We're happy with 6 months.
Okay.
If you prefer that.
Okay. Thank you. I'm making note of that. Number 17, I haven't made any changes to. Number 18, I've just added a bit of wording for clarity. I suppose
Fine. Yeah. Fine.
19, I haven't made any changes to. 20. So you've said that you're not going to have any deliveries.
That's Mr.
From the
Garney's
premises.
Yes.
So instead of having home delivery policy, because you're not going to have it,
No.
I'm going to. I suggest we just have a condition saying there will be no deliveries from the premises.
I drafted one while the council was speaking. I just got one. No deliveries of food or alcohol should be made from the premises at any time.
Food.
But use your word. If food or alcohol should be made from the premises at any time.
Councillor Wade, you got your hand up, or has that gone down now?
Yes, I think that I recognise what the applicant says about at present not having using delivery, Uber Eats or Just Eats, but we know that the retail and restaurant business, supermarket business is changing so rapidly that we do need to have something in place, even if he doesn't use it, that it is in place in order that everybody knows where we are. And that if they are going to have delivery drivers in the future, that they have to come back and discuss where delivery bikes are going to, fast food delivery bikes are going to park and how they're going to be monitored.
There won't be.
Well, I think if we're going to have this condition saying there'll be no deliveries of food and alcohol from the premises at any time, obviously if they did change their mind in future, they'd have to get that condition removed, and then in place you'd have the kind of home delivery type condition instead, which would include what you're suggesting.
Thank you.
We agree.
Okay. Number 21, I haven't made any changes. That's fine. Number 22, I've just added in a few words which I don't think are of any consequence.
No, fine. Yeah, fine.
Number 23, I haven't changed. That's just you putting notices up. Number 24, that's fine. Same for number 25. Number 26 is fine. Number 27 is fine. We don't need one for 28 because that's dealt with under fire risk assessment legislation. Number 29, are you okay with that?
Either side should get the should be washed and cleared of litter and I would be. My only concern is about that ties back to the question of food deliveries, which we're not having. We've actually offered it should be swept. That's fine, but how far we go with that?
What if there's rubbish from your premises that someone's like, I don't know, had a chocolate bar or something like that, and the rubbish is outside? I mean, we're just talking about anything that's connected to the premises being cleaned.
Yeah, I think they clean that up anyway. No, Mr. Garney and Mr. Amibara don't want an untidy shop. It doesn't look nice when people are going in.
Yeah. So are you okay with that wording? I think Councillor Wade wants to say something as well.
I think it should be and shall be jet washed, but occasionally jet washed, because it's a very high footfall area. Even if somebody goes out and has a cup of coffee that they've acquired at the store and it spills, the reason for that being is that that build out is going to be made permanent, and therefore there will be new paving from the frontage of the store to the perimeter of what is the build out, and therefore it'd be a pity for, as we know from other places where new paving has been laid and then it's not maintained. So we would like to see jet washed.
You probably wouldn't want jet washing regular intervals during the day. I think you're happy to sweep and clear at regular intervals during the day.
It could be jet washed, clean washed every day, but then jet washed, because I assure you after a Chelsea football match time, you're going to need to wash it down.
We don't agree with that one, sorry.
Yeah, I also agree. I think that it's a bit too vague. I would leave it for now. They're not doing hot food. There's not going to be cooking oil. I think we have to leave something up to a reasonable standard. And then if they are infringing on it and it looks sloppy outside, then we can enforce.
But the wording at the moment, Chair, doesn't appear to be enforceable. How do you qualitatively say something is kept tidy at all times? I would say that it does need to be washed, because that is going to be what we're going to be encouraging all businesses as part of the improvement of the Earls Court streetscape to take.
Right. And how are you going to, what are you going to do? How are you going to tell all businesses that they have to jet wash? I just don't want to put an unusual burden on this new premises when they're not cooking. So tell me what you're thinking.
I think the problem will be, as I'm sure that there will be pictures in tomorrow, the problem comes back to when you have match days.
Well, let the police go around and arrest the people that throw litter on the floor.
You've got, sorry, Mr. Hopkins, you've got a big piece of paper or something blocking your screen.
Oh, sorry.
We can't see you. All we see is a
No,
bit of paper.
it's dropped. It's an iPad and it keeps dropping down.
Okay.
We're away at the moment and I'm doing it from a hotel.
So you are okay with sweeping and clearing on a regular basis. In terms of washing or jet washing, what is your view on that, Mr. Hopkins?
We would oppose jet washing at the time.
But not washing.
Well, that would be for Mr. Garnier and Mr. Ambipara, but certainly jet washing I don't think is appropriate or proportionate.
Is it possible for us to ask the applicant whether they would be prepared to wash the pavement?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
I mean, we normally on a regular basis do clean outside the pavements on the other shops. Washing, we've never washed. No one's ever asked us to wash. And I'm not sure if we're allowed to do that either. I'm not too sure.
I don't know. Is it private? Is it privately maintained highway directly outside your shop, or is it publicly maintained highway?
It covers the area, Lindsay, where the basements are covered. If the basement goes underneath the pavement,
okay, so there's probably a segment
that is within their demise.
All right, so there's probably a section of privately maintainable highway, which probably means that you need to maintain it, which probably could include washing, I guess. So if you're prepared to wash on a perhaps not regular intervals during the day, but on perhaps I don't know, ad hoc or a weekly basis, that might.
Well, he said he would wash. We're talking about jet washing.
Okay.
No,
jet washing, you have to say when, because the council has a jet washing service that we're providing for free. If people want extra jet washing, they can request it. So the question is, I think we shouldn't put a unusual hardship on a new business when they're not even cooking. So are you going to say they need to jet wash once a year, 6 months, every 3 months?
I wasn't talking about jet washing. I was talking about just washing. Yeah,
we're just about washing? Okay. Yeah. Well,
that's what I was going to ask.
Mopping. You're talking about mopping outside and sweeping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's normal.
Well, it isn't actually, but it would be lovely if it was.
Okay, one more objection to this condition is that you are asking us to clear our premises and the neighboring properties. Now, neighboring property, how do we define? And why do we do so?
Well, the neighbouring properties would just be the shops either side. I don't know what shops you've got either side. You've
It's
got the
a
pub,
pub.
haven't you? So maybe not the properties either side. I mean, that's up for discussion.
Lindsay, can I possibly answer that? You've got the Courtfield pub, which already has that condition and washes. So this
Okay.
would be in line. And
Yeah.
then the next door building is the NatWest Bank site, which will have a restaurant on the ground floor. And we will be asking for the same conditions when that application comes forward.
All right.
So
So you
he-
wouldn't
he's-
need this applicant to be washing either side then, because they'll be
No,
doing
he
that.
wouldn't.
on
That's
their own.
ridiculous.
I mean, I just want their frontage.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Garney, in terms of washing, not jet washing, just
Okay.
in front of your premises on your privately maintainable bit, are you happy to do that weekly?
We are happy to do that weekly, yes.
Thank you. Right. So
Councillor
not
Hudd, did you want to say something?
No, Chair, thank you. You answered it already. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much. Number 30. I think I've just kind of broken them, your suggested condition down into 3 separate conditions. Are you okay with them?
I would say yes, subject to Mr. Garnier and Mr. Amipara agreeing. It's just broken my wording down.
Yeah.
That'd be fine,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Right, number 31, I haven't changed. Number 32, I've just done, it's pretty much the same as your wording, but I've just kind of broke it down into our standard wording plus a signage.
That's fine.
Number 33, I haven't changed. Number 34, I haven't changed. Number 35, I've just added in the age of, which hasn't altered anything. Number 36, same. I haven't done anything
Yep.
monumental.
That's fine.
I think I've responded to, in relation to the conditions suggested by the objectors, I've kind of said where they're kind of tied into your conditions.
Yes.
You've discussed the fact that there's no oil already. So I don't think we need to go through any of them. I've done a quarterly residence in relation to the Old Court Society one about the residence meetings. I've put that down as a condition further down. So number 37, I think you said you were happy for that. Is that correct? Dedicated telephone number on display.
Yes, I'd rather it didn't have a name on there, but because there'll be the 2 duty managers, if you like, Mr. Garnier and Mr. Amipara. There's always going to have to be a personal license holder there because that's a condition we've offered. But I'd rather it didn't name individuals. Just it will be the manager.
All right. So what? So take out the DPS. Just put in the duty manager.
Yeah, I mean they could just have a number will be available for the manager.
Okay.
Which will be in the window. I just don't like the idea of putting people's names up.
But I don't think we were. We're just saying DPS or duty manager.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we're actually saying stipulating names, we're just saying either or.
Right.
Number 38. I don't think that's controversial, given that you won't be.
No, it's an offence anyway.
Number 39. This is quite common. We tend to put this on quite a few licenses, having just meetings with residents. I mean, can I just have your views on that, please?
I would leave that to my clients. I wouldn't be something I'd be comfortable with all the time because we're publishing a number. If the residents got an issue, they can phone the shop up straight away and tell Mr. Garnier or Mr. Amipara.
I think the thing is, it says that you don't have to hold the meetings, and if it's agreed in writing with the residents' associations, that one's not necessary.
I'm not convinced it's appropriate or proportionate, to be honest, but I think obviously the panel will decide.
No, to tell you the truth, I mean, I don't mind having meetings.
Oh, that's all right.
You know, with the local residents. If it helps us, and it helps them as well. So I don't mind at all, no.
Okay.
If you're comfortable with it, Busharat.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So perhaps once or twice a year, will
That'd
the
be
councillors?
better.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be fine, yeah.
Okay. And then the last one, which we kind of touched on days when Chelsea Football Club are playing at home or a Chelsea Football Club victory parade takes place, minimum of 2 personal licence holders on duty from 3 hours before kick-off until 3 hours after, and the match is completed. And I put on the extra wording or the premises shall keep all alcohol behind locked shutters from 3 hours before the kick-off until 3 hours after. Can I have your views on that, please?
Busharat.
Do you want people who are like football supporters buying alcohol? Might it be problematic for you? Might it be problematic for the area? So what's your
If it
view?
helps, sorry, if I can just say to Mr. Garney, if it helps, we got clients at Stratford. He's on the route where you have to walk around West Ham, and Newham impose that. So I'd probably say, I'm twisting my arm up that. Yes, go for it.
Go for it. Okay, yeah.
So with both bits, so take out the or, put and in. Okay, so you're happy with the wording with and. Okay. And we discussed having the no deliveries. I haven't got any other conditions to discuss unless anything else has come up that the other councillors feel need to be discussed. Councillor Wade?
Yes, I think that in discussion, and this was with the Earls Court Society as well as Councillor Dorian, we felt that a condition as attached to Earls Court Food and Wine of no sales to those of street lovers or rough sleepers was essential. And
Possible.
I'm pleased to see that they've accepted the Chelsea Football Club, but I think, are they going to, or is there a requirement for them to be part of? It's also, yes, they should have the same conditions as the Courtfield pub, should be mirrored here.
Well, they're different types of premises, so we
It's
can't
not
just,
a pub. It's
yeah,
not
they
a
can't
pub.
just go ahead and
No, but the point is, we have there are fewer pubs available to football fans, and so what has happened is because therefore there is a concentration in Earls Court because people arrive by train, and so we have away fans and home fans in quite a tight location, and therefore what's happened is when they go into the Courtfield pub and they come out and they block the street, and then they're barred, they go into off licenses and then acquire alcohol, which is far more difficult to control.
well, if you look at the condition they've agreed to, the premises shall keep all alcohol behind locked shutters from 3 hours before kick-off until 3 hours after the match is completed. So I think that is kind of more than enough.
I'm just expressing the points that I was asked to raise.
Okay.
So those otherwise, but the conditions, I'm not sure what the conditions are, precise ones for Earls Court Food and Wine, about how one can not sell. I mean, I hear Mr. Hopkins said people can call the police, but actually it's the responsibility of the person selling the alcohol to ensure that they're not selling to a street lover or rough sleeper.
I think excuse me, Councillor Wade, I think the criteria here is you are not allowed to sell to someone who's already drunk. We cannot make any kind of condition saying we cannot sell to a rough sleeper, or it's just too prejudicial. We can say that if someone is drunk, they are not allowed to sell, which is the licensing law, actually. I cannot put anything in that you cannot sell to someone based on his economic status. We cannot do that.
We've already got a condition, number 38, which has been agreed. Alcohol shall not be sold or supplied to habitual street drinkers or known vagrants at any time, anyway, which they've agreed to, which we use.
All right, thank you.
Because it's known vagrants, okay?
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yes.
So Chair, it was Earls Court Food and Wine have a clause, and it's really just protection of everybody, because if they get alcohol, we just have them for the rest of the day. It's not that they are drunk when been sold, but they they're habitual. That's the problem we have.
Okay, so we have that here in condition 38, Councillor Wade.
I thought Mr. Hopkins had said something that it was people should call the police, or did I get that wrong?
I think he agreed to that condition. I've got a tick by it.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. Yeah, I'm hearing different things. I heard you agreed to 38, but then say something isn't enforceable. So I'm not quite sure.
I thought you just agreed to 38. I didn't get any different from
Well,
that.
I believe we have. My comment was actually made about people who were drunk in the street, which is a matter for the police anyway,
Mhm.
because the shopkeeper has no jurisdiction outside the premises. So I've talked about people in the street.
Yes, but I would counter that by saying that each business on Earls Court Road has a social responsibility to the area that they are operating in.
Chair, we've agreed to the condition 38 and
Yeah.
39.
Hmm.
But I'm just merely referring to if somebody's drinking a can of alcohol in the street and they didn't buy it in my client's shop, they have no jurisdiction over anybody on the street.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But that's
Um,
not what I'm saying. So.
Is number 38 enforceable?
Yes, it's what
Lindsay?
we put on our standard conditions.
Okay.
That's it. I haven't got any more. Everybody else has.
Nope. Licensing authority, any comments?
No comments. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, governance?
Nothing more from us. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Any questions from the applicant?
No, Chair, have you got anything, Busherette?
No,
Rohit?
thanks.
Right, okay. No, I haven't, Chair.
So the committee now has all the information needed, and we will retire to make our decision in private session. We will not announce the decision today. Instead, the hearing on this application will be closed and the live broadcast will end. A summary determination will be sent to the parties within 5 working days, +1 because of Good Friday, and a full decision will follow as soon as possible thereafter. The time limit for appealing the decision will not commence until the full decision has been sent to the parties. Thank you all for attending. Thank you to the committee. Thank you to our legal advisor, our governance, our local authority, and thank you to the applicant for being forthright. Thank you to our counselor. And we shall retire to our back to our screen room. Have a nice Easter. Bye.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Chair.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Oh.